Hello, and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? And when I tell you that, like, I was not feeling very well, and then as soon as I hit the go live button, it was like, hey, why don't you decline, like, an extra 20%? Well, that happened. Anyways, I'm here now, though, so, streaming always perks me up, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Don't sweat it. Everything's okay. Hello, it's good to be here. It's nice to see you. And hi. Dan's in the chat already. Dan says, hello, dear Sammy. Hello, dear Dan. It's lovely to see you. I also feel a little under the weather. You paint and I watch and it'll all be okay. Okay? Okay. Hello. Also, my left ear isn't working super well, so apologies for that, but I should still be able to hear alerts.
Attention.
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Choppers.
Sammy Ann, I'm not even on the starting soon screen yet. Hello, friends. Hello. Hello, and welcome, Sammy Ann. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi. Let's do this. That's better. It's lovely to see you. Hello. Hello, and welcome to Sammy Ann. Of course, thank you so much for the raid. To Chaz, hello, welcome in. Lovely to see you as well. Kindred, hello, welcome. I will type louder for your bad ears, says Dan. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And also, I believe Bees is here as well. Hello. I hope you are well. It's lovely to see you all. Welcome. Hello from the new me, which is just exactly what I look like. Anyways, let me get a shout out for a second. Sammy Ann, what were you up to today? What were you up to? It's lovely to see you. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid again. And how was your stream? I hope it went well. I hope you are well. It's wonderful to see you. I'm a little dizzy, so apologies, but I do have several cups of restorative tea, so don't worry. I'll be okay. For anyone who's new here, hi, hello, welcome in. It's lovely to see you. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelsch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays, and I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and also sometimes on Thursdays if I'm feeling a little bit extra crispy. I am feeling a little extra crispy this week for the first time in quite a while. We're doing a game stream this Thursday. Because Dogpile is on sale on Steam at the moment, and, I had to do, have you seen this game? It is the most me-coded thing to ever exist, and I needed it. It's very good. It's very, very good. Anyways, Sammy and Swear continue to work on artwork for game cards. I'm building a werewolf deck. That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, as always, as you know, this is an art tax optional channel. If you do want to share anything, you are welcome to whisper a link in my direction. Or if you just want to chill, that's okay too. If you have post-stream stuff you need to get on with, that's also all good. But if you want to hang, you're more than welcome to do so. Anyways, Bees says, I am waiting for a package delivery containing a new cozy hoodie, and I'm very excited. Ooh, that is exciting. You may visit the Instas if I would like to, Sammy, and I would very much like to. I will do that right now. And also, I suppose on that note, by way of introduction to anyone who is not familiar with my artistic oeuvre and what it looks like when it's done, we can have a look at that also. But let me just attempt to vamp for a second while I attempt to pull up the appropriate links. Pretzels. And yeah. This is eventually going to be a little street scene in Copenhagen. We've got a couple little guys who've just gotten a really nice cup of coffee. And they're off to continue their perambulations about the city. Someone is complaining about the fact that it's still super cold here in springtime because he has zero tolerance for cold temperatures. And you know what? Like, we respect. As someone who experiences the exact opposite, I have no choice but to, like, listen, I get it, buddy. It sucks. Anyways. Yes, let's take a look at some completed art. Let's have a little look-see. First of all, it's broken. Not again. Where is it? There it is. Okay, this is me. Sorry. Moriax says, hi, I'm new here. Please ignore the VIP behind the curtain. Welcome, Moriax. It's lovely to see you. Welcome. Where did it go? Wait. Okay, there she is. Jeez Louise. There's our little gremlin. Ignore any notifications I haven't read yet, because, I'm tired. Anyways, so here's an art that I did recently. I don't know, I like taking little characters and sticking them into nice little scenes. I think it's fun. And these these two little ladies are having a lovely adventure, some hijinks, some shenanigans, maybe even some tomfoolery. I don't know. And also they're very gay. That's important. Also, these two are dating as well. The Sports Direct mug and the vintage teacup. But more importantly, Sammy Ann, friend of the stream, amazing. This is my favorite, and I love it so much. I guess I wonder why this is my favorite, and I love it so much. This is Sammy Ann's art of a little grubby from Hollow Knight, which is so super cute. I love it. I love it so much. Grubs and Stan. It's so cute. If you're not familiar with Sammy Ann's artwork, the most important thing you need to know is that it is delightful, it is whimsical, it is beautiful, and it's very, very fun. Also, Sammy Ann also does like art fairs and stuff and sells things and is wonderful. And look at their lovely face, which is wonderful as well. So whimsy. Anyways, is this still visible? I don't know. Is stream working? Anyways, also expect a lot of dragons, which I adore with my entire heart. I love their little wings and their claws and everything about them, and it's good. It's good. We love Sammy Ann and Sammy Ann's art here, so please do give a follow if you haven't already. Can you tell that I'm under the weather? They are all friend dragons. They are so friend-shaped, too. I love them very much. And thank you once again for sharing, and thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Anyways, a sapphic picnic, says Bees. Yes, exactly. I don't know. I just... Listen. I like coziness, and I like queerness, and I like putting them together into a neat little artistic package. It makes me feel happy. And yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna take a sip of one of my teas, and then I'm gonna take a sip of one of my other teas. I have 2 teas, and I have the remnants of a coffee as well. This is called the Cat's Pajamas. And if you think that looks like chamomile tea, you'd be correct. It is chamomile tea with lemon, verbena, and cinnamon. And when I tell you that it tastes exactly like it just tastes like chamomile tea. I cannot tell there's other ingredients in it. It's just chamomile to me. I did try the other day sprinkling some cinnamon into it, and it did give it more of a cinnamony flavor, but the cinnamon also kind of just like sunk to the bottom of the cup and then kind of coagulated in really unpleasant ways, so I've decided to not do that again and just drink it as though it's chamomile tea. Maybe I can get like a cinnamon stick or like some cinnamon chips to add to the tea. I don't know. That's fine. Anyways, Sammy Ann says, I am indeed an amateur in the tea department when you are sporting multiple cups. Oh, please. You're the one who paints with it, my friend. That's professionalism if ever there was any. You should feel very proud. Anyways, I have that because I could use some calm and gentleness and pain relief. And this is just a blend of spearmint and peppermint, which I guess is also very soothing. None of it's like particularly strong or caffeinated, but I do also have a cup of coffee. Now this coffee, I don't remember what the deal was with this coffee. Wait. I don't actually know what the deal was with this coffee. I can find out though. I don't think I had one from Honduras and one from Brazil, and I can't remember if this is the Honduran one or the Brazilian one. But now it's gonna bother me until I know. Chamomile tastes appley to me, says Bees. It does definitely. I've always thought that it has like an apple adjacent vibe, which makes sense then that it would go with cinnamon, because you want to know what I had for my lunch? I had apple and cinnamon porridge for my lunch, and it was delicious. Specifically, it's not like a ready-made porridge packet, but I take the jumbo oats. I take the jumbo whole oats, and I cook them with ground flaxseed. I cut an apple up into chunks and stew it on the hob first, and then add it about halfway through cooking my porridge, for which I use 100 grams of soy milk and 120 grams of skimmed milk. I don't know why I'm getting this granular in my description. Just an absolute butt ton of cinnamon sprinkled over the top and a teaspoon of maple syrup. And it's divine, but also delightful. Sammy, and thank you so much for the lurk. Have a lovely, lovely lurk. Have a nice post-stream decompression session, and thank you again. Yes. What was my point? I did have one. Okay. I was going to tell you what kind of coffee I'm drinking today. What are the tasting notes of it? It's so funny. This coffee, it's every time you order something online now, it's like they check in. They're like, is everything all right with your order? It's been a while. It's like, I ordered 2 bags of coffee from you a month ago. Leave me alone. It's like, in the way they say things, like, it's been a while, is everything okay? It's like, yeah, everything's fine. Why are you... What's happening? But yeah, I think that's like a marketing thing across the board these days, where, like, I don't know, they're so aggressive in their marketing in some is this an effective marketing technique to just, like, if you were looking at something on a website and then they send you an email and they're like, we caught you looking, that's just like get out of my business. Get out of my business. I don't want you to know that I was just, like, browsing things on your website. Like, leave me alone. Now I'm less inclined to buy the thing because I feel like you're looking at me and I don't want to be perceived. Maybe I just wanted to know how much shipping was and I'm not ready to buy a thing. Like, stop it. Go away. You know? Like, I will complete my purchase if I darn well feel like it, in my own time, in my own space. Stop it. It's creepy. Bees says, Sammy, calm and soothing. Bees, I had 2 mochas today. Oh, mochas are so good, though. That sounds nice. I had a mocha last week, and it was delightful. I was at a chain, a large chain coffee shop here in the UK, because it was open. There was a table free, and I needed to wait for someone, so I went and I got a beverage, and I ordered a mocha because I didn't feel like just having a plain old coffee, and I didn't feel like having a hot chocolate, so I had in-betweenies. And the barista asked if I wanted whipped cream and marshmallows with my mocha, and I was like, is it normal to put marshmallows on a mocha? I chose whipped cream but not marshmallows because I felt like that was the fun but still adult-appropriate choice that wouldn't make me feel like I'm gonna die in 20 minutes. And it was delightful. But, yeah. I do love marshmallows, though. Damn it. Anyways, eBay does that and it's so creepy, says Bees. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Like, why would you want that? I mean, I guess they're just trying to kind of prod you to, like, complete a purchase, but, like, I do not like the idea that, like, for instance, like, if I walk into a shop and I'm just like, you know, I'm just looking at stuff and I decide, I don't fancy buying any of these things today, but I got some information, and I might come back and buy something later if I decide that I really want that thing, but I might have just been having a look around to see what's available at the moment. And then, like, someone comes to my house the next day and is like, hey, so we saw that you were looking at our sweatshirts in our shop in Bicester yesterday. Did you want to come back and buy one? You know, like, that's not, Bees says whipped cream is normally included, I think, but marshmallows are a new one. Yeah, I was surprised by the marshmallows. There's a non-zero chance I'll take them up on it next time, though, but still. Anyways, the other thing that happened to me today is, so, for those who don't know, I have a shop. I'll exclamation mark shop in the chat in case you're curious. Or you can buy like art prints and stickers and stuff that I do. But when I send out my packages, I have to seal them up with like tape. I put a little bit of washi tape on the envelopes to make sure that they don't, get any stupid ideas and decide to attempt to open themselves in transit. It's probably a little unnecessary insurance, but it makes me feel a little more secure in knowing that your parcel is going to get to you nice and safe and sound. But because I have to do this, I like to make sure that the tape is cute. And I recently ran out of one of my rolls of tape, which had little goldfish on it, and I have another roll of tape that has little strawberries on it, but I'm getting close to the end of the roll of strawberry tape, so I've treated myself, I business expensed myself to buying 2 more rolls of tape. This one is like, I don't know, it's still wrapped up, so I don't know if you can see very well, but it's got this like abstract kind of citrusy pattern on it, like little limes and stuff, and then just like citrusy colors. I think it's very playful and summertimey and very, very cute. So I'm excited to get to use that. This one's stupid, but I love it. I got Moomin tape. It's hard to see because like the images kind of overlap because it's semi-transparent, but it's on sort of like a bluish gray background, and like you can see little Mai here kind of, and there's Moomin Papa, and there's Moomin Mama, and then there's a very translucent Moomin troll, and there's Snork Maiden. It's yeah, very cute. Moomin tape. Very excited for Moomin tape. And anyways, because I was ordering things from a stationery shop, obviously that's not all I got. But I didn't want to I could have spent so much money if I had so much money, which I do not. So I bought 2 small personal items for my personal stationery use. This specifically, it's just a little like storage container. But I think it'd be really useful for like little fiddly bits or maybe like haberdashery sort of sewing supplies type thing. I do have like a biscuit tin for sewing supplies, but it's not a bad idea having like a secondary smaller thing for the little fiddly bits of your sewing supplies. So that's what this bad boy is going to be. And also it's got a bird on it, which I think is really, really cute. And the other thing that I got, and this is pure indulgence for my mental health, it's just a sticker sheet with a bunch of cute little animals on it. That's it. It's just, look at these bears, like, they're just the little piggies, and the cat's doing, like, weird stretchies. I don't know. This one's my favorite right here, is dog. But, I mean, they're all absolutely delightful. I think it's so stinking cute. The little cow is, like, strutting. How fresh is that? So yeah, I got myself a sheet of silly little animal stickers. And it makes me think, I haven't designed a sticker sheet in a while. I wonder if I should design another sticker sheet, because I like doing sticker things, but I also wonder, I don't know, should I do more sticker sheets that have like more smaller stickers instead of less bigger stickers? Because usually I think I go for like 6 to 8 stickers on a sheet, but maybe I should attempt something that's like more smaller stickers or more variations of like sizes of stickers. Do people actually use the stickers off of the sticker sheets that they buy, or do they just like look at them? Because I've bought many a sticker, because I've sold many a sticker, thankfully, but I've also bought many a sticker from like my art friends, and when I tell you I almost never stick the stickers on anything, I have a little folder that the stickers go in, and then I look at the stickers and I go, aw, I remember when I got this, and it feels special because, like, someone I know made it, or it's just a cute design that I really liked, or, I bought it at this market, and it's a nice memory of that. But I don't, I rarely stick them anymore. I will stick my own stickers from time to time, but that's because I have theoretically an unlimited supply, in as much as I can just print more. If I run out of stock, I can just make more of them. Though I try not to do that with the stock that I'm meant to be selling in my shop, because I'm wasting all of my money, and that's not a sound financial decision for a small business person who generally struggles to break even. Anyways, words bad. How's everybody doing? I hope you are well. I hope you're having the loveliest of lovely days. I am, I think, as I said up top, feeling a little bit under the weather today. But I was hoping that I might be able to get a little bit of painting done, despite that, and hopefully have a nice time. And hopefully you all will have a nice time as well. In case you're curious, by the way, this is a natural coffee from Brazil with notes according to the manufactory, or the roastery, rather, of chocolate fudge, toasted walnut, and red apple. I'm personally not getting... It definitely has a cocoa-y, chocolatey vibe. I get that from most natural Brazilian coffees, though. They tend towards the sort of like cocoa chocolate realm of flavor profiles. It's not a very like a dark roast or anything, though. It's a fairly light medium roast, which I prefer personally. Anyways, Dan says small business person or small business person. Yes, both of those are correct. I am a small business person and also a small business person. I'm 5 feet tall. I am a tittle fun-sized individual. Is I feel like fun-sized is probably the wrong wording here. I don't know if fun size is the right word for a person, but you know, I am fun, so whoa, I tower over you at 5'1". Wow, oh my gosh, you're so like basically everyone I ever meet, you're so tall. everyone else to me is just like by default is just like tall. Unless they're like the same height as me, which is rare. I never get to be taller than anyone. Well, congratulations. Also, I'm probably stand at a little shorter than 5'0" at this point, because my posture is that. So, anyways, never mind. I do try and do, you know, exercises here and there to like lengthen my spine and such, but yeah. Anyways, yay, my Photos app is having a moment. I need you to function properly, Photos app. I need to find the reference photo that I'm using for this painting so that I can remember what colors the rooftops wanted to be, more or less. I mean, the answer to that is a resounding brownish, but, you know, I'd like to be slightly more precise than that. Okay, we're in the realm of photos I took when I got home from Denmark of the foods I liked that I brought home from Denmark, including but not limited to this muesli bar, because it's hard to find a good muesli bar in the UK, like it surprisingly is, and this rye bread that I bought partially just because I wanted a nice loaf of rye bread, and it's hard to find a nice loaf of rye bread here in the UK, but also because it's got, will you just stop blowing out this poor man's face? It's got a woodsman on it, which really appealed. I don't know. If the bread is good enough for this like very rugged gentleman, then I figure it's got to be pretty dang tasty. So yeah, happy with that. Skål, man, as they probably wouldn't say in Danish, because my Danish is, how shall I say, not very good. And I do apologize once again for that as well. Okay, I have found my reference. Hooray. World's tallest shrimp, says Dan. I would be genuinely horrified to encounter a shrimp that is larger than 5 feet long. That is something about, like, tiny versions of everyday items. Like this teeny tiny little shoe that they gave me at a pancake restaurant last time I was in Amsterdam. Absolutely delightful. But if I were to encounter a shrimp that was like hundreds of times larger than like the average shrimp, terrifying. Absolutely, actually terrifying. In real life, I'm scared. I would cry. I guarantee you I would cry. I mean, I cry at a lot of stuff, but I would be scared and I would cry. Well, that's tea. I'm actually wondering if the tea needs a bit of a stir. I hope you enjoyed that sound effect. Oh my god, there it is. I was like, I put a spoonful of sugar in this. Why can't I taste it? I hadn't stirred it. It needed a stir. It was all at the bottom. Have you ever had that experience I used to have this experience sometimes when I would go to like, back in Canada, when I would go to Tim Hortons, if you order like a filter coffee, they will, and you have it with like dairy or dairy alternative and sugar, they will add the requisite amounts of dairy alternative and sugar for you, stir it up, and then like hand it to you and it's all done, so you don't have to go to like a sugar and milk station and add it yourself, right? So my go-to order, because I was a basic so-and-so, was like a medium double-double. Which is two half and half creams. If you recently watched my most recent YouTube video, you will know that in Canada, the standard dairy for filter coffee is cream. 2 half and half creams, and then 2 spoonfuls of sugar. Which, to be honest, I would probably have half that now. And ideally, I would rather have it with skimmed milk, because that's how I drink my filter coffee here. But then on the other hand, I'm going to guess that the Tim Hortons coffee is a darker roast than I would normally drink. Because I tend to prefer things on the specialty coffee definition of medium these days, as opposed to the supermarket definition of medium, which isn't worse, it's just different. And specifically, when they call something like a 3 out of 5 medium roast in the supermarket, it's dark. It's a dark roasted coffee. The last time we got a bag of coffee beans from the supermarket, I was like, okay, 3 out of 5 medium roast. I think I know where I stand on that. And I open it, and the beans are like pitch black and super shiny. And usually beans that are pitch black and super shiny are pretty darkly roasted. If there's like a shine on your beans, it means they've been roasted long enough that they've started like really expressing the oils that are naturally present in the coffee beans. And that usually doesn't happen until sort of like the latter stages of roasting. Not necessarily like burnt level black dark, obviously, or it wouldn't be particularly palatable probably, but certainly on the darker end of roast, you don't really see lighter roasted coffees in the supermarché. I don't know why. I think possibly roasting darker allows for greater like consistency across product, perhaps, because they're not dealing with like small like micro batches like your local roastery is. They're dealing in, you know, mass quantities across hundreds of supermarkets across like the entire country / multiple countries. So maybe it's an easier way of maintaining consistency, and it's also just what consumers are used to, probably. I don't know. Anyways, tangented. My point being, and I do have one, that so you order your coffee. You order, let's say, a medium double-double, which used to be my standard order when I was in Canada and I would get coffee. I would get a medium double-double. Under the assumption that the coffee will have been, like, stirred up with cream and sugar in it by the time the person hands it to you, right? And on multiple occasions, I will have taken my coffee, I'll have, like, drinked the whole thing, basically, and then get to, like, the last few sips, like, it's the last sort of half centimeter at the bottom of the cup, and suddenly, it is syrupy sludge. Because it turns out I actually don't mind my coffee with significantly less sugar than a double-double gets. Because I couldn't tell that it didn't have a double-double's worth of sugar all throughout, because it turns out that 2 spoonfuls of sugar was all conglomerated at the bottom and had not been stirred up at all. Which really should have told me to stop ordering double-doubles and just get a regular, which is just like 1 cream and 1 sugar. But it didn't. Anyways. So yeah, that was a thing. Anywho. Okay, I need to make some browns, but here's the problem. The palette that I'm doing most of this painting with is this pastel shades palette. And I do want a little bit of contrast in the rooftops that are a little bit deeper than these pastel shades. As you can see, they're like varying shades of sort of brown, between like brown and I would say reddish brown, right? So in order to achieve this, I'm going to bring in a secondary paint palette to supplement the first one, just to give us a little bit more like contrast and variation in value in the painting, because I would like something that I have done many paintings using nothing but this pastel set of paints, and I think it's fun, and I think you can get some really, really cool, nice results with it. But I think it's also nice to have something where there is a little bit more variation in value, and like the brights are brighter, the darks are darker, things pop a little bit more. I feel like when I started out on like the art streaming journey and I was doing like watercolors and stuff, my watercolors used to be all very, I feel like I was afraid of getting too like loud with my colors, and I feel like I've kind of moved away from that, and I'm okay with things that are a little bit more colorful and a little bit less extremely pale. But that being said, looking back on some of my really old watercolors, what I'm realizing, at least looking at them on the computer, and what I did realize after a certain period of time, was that the scanner that I was using really blew out all of the colors and the contrast of my paintings. So there was like a year or two there where I was posting stuff that was significantly more washed out than it was in real life, and I didn't really realize just how much more washed out the scans of my painting were, until I actually figured out that I could just do like a super quick curve adjustment and fix them, and then I was like, oh, that's so much better. What the hell? Oh no, I've been misrepresenting my work and making it look worse than it is. Ah, shoot. Yeah, anyways, so this is a much browner palette, so specifically these two colors, I think, because this rooftop is probably kind of closest to this, and then this one and this one is probably closest to this, and this one is probably like a mix between these two. So that's what I'm gonna do here for these. I'm gonna have the hiccups first and foremost. Okay, I think we're done. I think we're done. And also, I am so sorry that Tim Hortons anecdote absolutely got away from me. Good Lord. How did that even happen? I don't know. But here we are. Okay, so I think I'll do these two rooftops first. And I'm gonna use this this tea here, which is like a, I think this is roasted tea. I think this is roasted tea is the name of it, or like the translation, which is delightful. And it's also just a very pretty color. I don't know how much you can see of my palette behind me on my desk there.
Oh hell yeah, Tiles_are now just subscribed. Hi, hello.
Hi, hello, Tiles. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. I hope you are well, and thank you for the 7-month sub. That is very, very close to a year. That is incredibly delightful of you. Thank you very much indeed. I hope you enjoy your emotes and stuff, and I hope you're having a wonderful Monday. I hope you're having a good week so far. I hope you had a good week. I hope everybody had a good weekend. Hope your weekends were nice. What the hell did I do this weekend? Ooh, I am deep in the editing suite for my, possibly not my next YouTube video, because it turns out that I might have to make an addendum to my most recent YouTube video. So there might be a short little kind of interlude in between the last video and the next, because, well, listen, turns out a lot of people have a lot of interest in this, which is a bag of milk in a purpose-built jug for bags of milk. So I'm going to have to make a video about milk bags and what's the deal with milk bags, specifically from a Canadian perspective. There are some interesting things to talk about. Oh no, is Sammy having to make a retraction? It's not a retraction, it is an addendum. It's just more. It's just, there was a side note in the video, and it turns out that I have to make a video about that entire side note, so that's what we're doing. Milk bags, is that useful? Okay, so, to Tal says, I'm doing so-so but hanging in. Let's hang in together, and I do hope that the so-so becomes good. Very much I do. You deserve all of the goodness in the world, okay? Okay. Milk bags, is that a euphemism? No, but just so you know, this plastic bag that contains the milk that is being held within this jug, so spoilers for my next YouTube video, most likely, if this is the one that I end up making next. The industry standard term for these bags is pillow pouches. I did not remember this term quite right. I remembered milk pillows. And good Lord, does that sound like a euphemism to me. I mean, pillow pouches isn't that much better, but milk pillows, that's a euphemism. That's a euphemism. Like, it just is. Anyways. The plastic bag and the mug are dating, says Dan. You know what? I'm gonna have to draw a sweetheart. I'm gonna have to draw a sweetheart for the milk jug. Aren't I? Like, it's gonna happen. It is going to happen. Anyways, but yeah, so, expect a video that is a deep dive into containing milk in bags. I do have thoughts and wonderings about it. Is it more environmentally friendly than, say, a jug or a carton? I don't know. How recyclable is the plastic? I don't know that either. There's a lot of unanswered questions that I will get to explore that I haven't really explored yet, because I've literally just scratched the surface of this topic, but I don't want to scratch it too hard, because I don't want to puncture the milk bag. So, yeah. Anyways. Oh, Tal says, I think this is the first stream I've made with the new PNG tuber. Came out great. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I am enjoying being the most accurate representation of myself that I can be. I know, like, a lot of people with their PNG tubers, you know, and I have in the past as well, and I will continue to do so for certain streams and as well as in the future. We'll do, you know, sort of like fantastical characters and like cute creatures and that kind of thing, and I love doing that. I love seeing that. I love embodying that in my own PNG tubers, but man, it is kind of fun just to be... This is a 100% accurate representation of exactly what I personally look like at this very moment. I am wearing my hair up just like that. I am in, to be fair, this isn't the only outfit I own. Today my top is black and my trousers are gray, but I do have the mug that inspired this is being used right now. There it is. It is a slightly different color because I had to make it bluer, because when it was greenish, yeah, when I put the PNG tuber up, I realized that, like, the green got chroma keyed out and I just had a mug handle and no mug. Which, oops. So I had to fix that. But that's fine. Anyways. I think I might give this little rooftop a second pass, because I think my paint was a little bit too... could be a little bit deeper, but I will let that settle for the moment, and then we'll come back and give it a little extra glaze once it's dry. But I'm going to use this same color over there, but what I will do is actually pick up a little bit more paint so that maybe I don't have to do it twice. That would be very cool if I didn't, but never mind. Anyways. But yeah. I do like how much this one like block of flats slash, like, I don't know, office or restaurant or something under the flats seems to be channeling what I would describe as the vibes of, like, the Moomin house. I think that's lovely. I've added a little bit of the sort of reddish orange color, because actually I think it wants that just a little bit. It's not exactly the same shade of brown as that one. Okay. Okay. Well, that's delightful. Hopefully it's cute. Hopefully this turns out cute. I don't know. Okay. Okay, stop futzing. I say and then immediately start futzing again. Okay, no more futz hypocrisy in this house. We stop and then we realize, oh geez, I've got this bit is the same color. Heck. This little bit where like the windows kind of stick out is actually the same color of roof gubbins, so that's not futzing, that's just me realizing that I missed a bit. Okay, alright. Done with futzing with that, and on to this one over here, for which I'm going to pick up a ton of this red, and I would like it to be mostly red with a little bit of brown. We'll see how well I did that. It looks more or less the same. Shoot. Okay. I'm just gonna blot some of this liquid off of my brush, and then I'm just trying to pick up as much of the reddy stuff as I can, so that it's similar but not quite exactly the same. I hope. Now these rooftops do have a little bit of texture. I don't know how much I'm gonna want to be like drawing in the actual texture of them. Oh no, that's a big puddle. Can I unwet my brush a little bit and just mop some of that up, please and thank you? Yes. Okay, wizard. Cool. Done. Anyways. Trying to think what else I did this weekend. Oh, yes. So, again, programming note for anyone who missed it earlier. Thursday's stream is going to be a game stream. I haven't done a game stream Thursday in a while. I hope it's okay if I do a game stream Thursday. But here's the thing. I don't know if you've heard of a little game called Dogpile. But it was like £5 on Steam right now. And so I impulse bought it for myself yesterday, and I played a bit of it, and it's... When I say I played a bit of it, I mean I played like 3 hours of it. It's very good. And I think it'll make for a fun stream. It gets very chaotic in places, and it's a lot of fun. And also, you get to look at cute doggies the entire time. I mean, what's not to love? Literally nothing. It is amazing, and I cannot wait to play it with you. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so fun. Dogpile looks super cute, says Tals. It's super cheap, and I super recommend it. I had a great time with it yesterday, and I'm going to have a great time with it again on Thursday. It's good. It's a good game. Anyways, if you're not familiar, it's basically a game where you have like a deck of cards, and the cards have dogs on them, and you have to drop dogs into the yard, and then the dogs, like, two of the same type of dog will combine to create like a larger dog, and then you have to combine two of those dogs to create a larger dog. But then the dogs have like different conditions, so some dogs are friendly, so they're like attracted to other dogs, and then some dogs are timid, so they're like scared of other dogs, and some dogs bark, which upsets the entire yard. And you get all kinds of different like cards, and you can change the conditions of the game in various ways, and it can get very chaotic and silly and fun. Yeah. it's a really good game. Genuinely, it's very, very fun. But yeah, so I look forward to doing a little bit of it on stream. I think that'll be very fun. What's next? Well, now that these bad boys are drying, I should probably look at maybe doing these little awnings and the doors and the window displays and what have you. So I'm going to put this halfway away and bring back my pastel-y paints. Oh, no, I'm not, because I forgot to... No, I'm not. There's an entire whole ass rooftop I haven't done yet, and I'm gonna need this one, which is my like black tea, I believe, for that. So I'm gonna try and get all of the reddy orangey brownie stuff off of this bad boy and dip into my much subtler sort of dark gray-y brown. Which, this is, you can tell this is a very versatile color because I've used so much of it. This one and this very dark blue are like my most used colors out of this palette because they're just very, very useful colors to have. I mean, they're all very useful colors to have, but I think if I look at my set, I've probably used this like light yellow the least. I don't know, at some point maybe I'll have to challenge I've been meaning to do this for a while actually, to challenge myself for like very well-worn paint palettes that I have, to just challenge myself to do a painting using nothing but like the paints that I like never use out of them, or the paints that just generally seem like they have fewer use cases, and just force myself to try and make use of them. I think that could be interesting and fun. For me anyways. I don't know about anybody else, but yeah. Too bad. Anyways. Okay. This building is kind of shaped like a milk carton. What a silly observation. Oh well. Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay. And then now to just very carefully paint in the fiddly bit in between the two windows. And then... and now there's a big blobby of paint right in the middle. So I'm going to try and just pop that up a bit so it doesn't look weird. Yay! Cool. Okay. This is one of those... this is one of those pieces where I find myself being like, I'm not sure about this. I don't know if this is good. Is this a good piece? And then every time I add an additional element to it, I'm just like, oh, no, I'm stupid. It's just not done. It's just not done. That's the difference. Anyways, B says, I have to go out of my way to use my specialty granulating paints, of which I have many. I wishlisted them because, ooh, shiny, but actually using them comes with some hesitations. Love a granulating paint, though. Some of my favorite pigments are granulating, and I love mixing them together. Well, I mean, if you've seen my artwork, you probably know this, but I love a granulating paint, and a granulating paint color I think is very, very fun. You should do it. Just, honestly, okay, this is gonna, again, hypocrisy, because if I do this, just get silly with it, you know? Sometimes I think if an art supply is like intimidating to you, you just gotta do like a thing with it. Doesn't matter if it's it doesn't matter if it's the greatest thing ever. Just think, okay, what would this be good for? I am going to do like the speediest, sketchiest version of it. And then just go for it. I have some of the Schminke ones. I've got the Schminke ones. They're fun. The Gansai Tambi ones and the Supervision two-tone granulating paints. Nice. Love all of that. I've got some of the Schminke ones as well. And I've also made some of my own. Because I just think it's fun. And actually, once you know how to do it, it's really easy. But an ad is about to run. So I will talk more about that when we get back from the break. I don't need to miss anything. We're about to see some ads. So I'm sorry if you have to see ads. But I'll be back very shortly. Have a drink, have a stretch, think more about granulating paint pigments, and I'll see you in just a minute. BRB. Okay, so, let's talk about granulation, because it's come up in conversation. And it's something that, as you can probably see from some of my own previous work, it's something that I like to play with, and it's something that I think is really, really neat. As such, let me find you, if I can, an example of a piece where I have used Oh good, there's there's lots of them because I do it all the time. Granulating pigments to create an aesthetic or a look or whatever. If that's something that would be interesting to you. Basically, so paint pigments are sometimes granulating, sometimes non-granulating, depending on the pigment. Ultramarine is a really good example of a granulating paint pigment. Basically what that means is if you do like a wash of paint, instead of sitting in a nice sort of like even layer, the pigment granules suspended in the water kind of settle into the paper in ways that it gives this like textured effect, right? And you can combine a granulating pigment with a non-granulating pigment, which is something that will give you a much smoother effect on it. Like for instance, if you look at this pink color here, it's very smooth, it's very uniform, right? Whereas if you look at, let me find, do I have a good granular paint color painting sitting around? Yes. Okay. This'll do. Okay. If you look at like the sort of mottled effect going on, especially here on like Garrick's tunic, this is because I've used a blend of pigments that has at least one granulating paint in it. So the color, basically, if you combine two granulating paints or a granulating paint color and a non-granulating paint color, rather than sort of merging together into one singular new color when you do like a wash of paint, instead you get sort of like a nice color shifting effect, kind of a conversation between the two colors, which come together to form what looks like a color, but on closer inspection you can see all of this texture in it, which is a really, I think, a really effective, a really interesting, and a really fun effect to play with. It's kind of like the difference between, I'm sorry to make this analogy, especially because I just showed you Deep Space Nine fan art, but compare and contrast. No, I can't do it. I can't make a Star Trek analogy. Just, it's just, it's the difference between, do these two pigments blend together seamlessly to create like a new, just like a singular new color, or does it create something that inherently has like texture and variation in it? And whether you want to do one or the other with the paints and pigments that you're using depends on the project that you're doing and what you want to achieve with it and how you want it to look. And I think the best way to start playing with something like a granulating pigment is just to consider, and like a super granulation paint, which are, you know, sort of these nice convenience blends that a number of paint makers have created for us that have like multiple pigments blended together in a way that it gives you this interesting color shifting effect. Like Schminke has an entire range of them, and I have, I think, five of theirs. I've made some of my own blends myself, like this bad boy and this bad boy and all of these bad boys. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I think they work especially really well for like landscapey type situations, that kind of thing, where it can be quite interesting to create like textures and that kind of thing. Like an oceanic scene I think would work really well, especially because colors like ultramarine blue and there's like a turquoise that's a really good granulating pigment as well, but I can't remember which one it is. Work very, very well. But yeah, so many boys behaving badly. Wait, what? Why are the boys behaving badly? Oh, the bad boys. Yeah. But, you know, we love them anyways. Listen, they may be bad boys, but we can tell that they're trying their best, and we're here to support them. But, yes. So, yeah, it's fair to say that I get a real kick out of doing, like, a granulating paint blend, because I think you can do really cool things with it. Again, this is a nice light, fast granulating paint. It's mahogany brown. Mars Black, also. Not the, like, darkest black. We can fix them, says Bees. No! That line of thinking is a dark path. But yeah. Boys Behaving Badly, the prequel started starring a young Martin Clunes and Neil Morrissey, says Stan. Yup. Oh my god. They just CGI aged them down. No, can you imagine the horror? The absolute horror. Anyway. What was my point? I did have one. I'm sure I did. Actually, I don't know if I did. My ear hurts, and it's making it hard to focus, like, even more than usual. I might not go for as long as I usually do today, because, I'm kind of flagging already, and I've only painted these rooftops. Damn. Okay. But yeah, where was I? Yeah. Granulation. I think I like a granulation situation for, like, a sky. I think it can be really cool for, like, stormy skies or stormy seas or, like, that kind of situation. Or, like, a nature-y kind of scene. Somewhere where it's just nice to get a bit of that sort of interesting color variation. Maybe less so for scenes where you're doing just where it's just, like, a ton of tiny detail. Because it's nice to have it in sort of, like, you know, sort of nice swathes of background where you've just got interesting color shifts and that kind of thing. But ultimately, I think with anything like that, the best way to learn how you like to use it best is to just do, like, a test piece that doesn't matter to you. And tell yourself at the outset that this is just a test piece that you're doing to try out a new medium. And that way, there's no pressure for it to be the best thing you've ever painted, and it's okay if you're not entirely sure how to use them yet, and you absolutely won't trick yourself into caring super deeply about how this painting turns out by the end of it, and making it way more detailed and complex than you'd planned to in the first place, and by the end of it you're like, oh no, well, I invested so much time and effort into this that I guess it's a real painting now and I have to care about it. At some point this got a little semi-autobiographical. Sorry about that. But what did we expect, really? Anyways, whilst we were on our break, I did end up looking up some, if you want some, to understand maybe the visuals of what I'm talking about better, I could pull an example from my own artwork, I guess, but I could also just show you some paints that exist. But I think actually a really good example of some granulation action is probably this piece that I did a little while ago. So you can see like the greenish, bluish, mottled texture of, like, the landscape and the teapot and all that. That's because that's a bunch of pigments coming together and doing different things on the paper to each other and creating a more, I think, sort of dimensional effect without me really having to put in any effort to that effect. I really like this lump in particular with sort of the yellowish green and the little dark blossoms on the hill. I think that's fun. Lovely granulation, says Bees. Thank you. I made them myself. That was a fun piece to do. I think I actually did that piece with my Schminke paints, so there you go. But also not sponsored, so don't go buy them on my account. Or do, because I do genuinely think that they're good paints. But also, I don't know, tell them to sponsor me. Anyways. My tea is rapidly getting cold, which is distressing, because I need hot tea right now. That's fine. I finished my coffee, so that was good. And I need to decide what colors I want to make these little awnings. And I don't know. Sponsor or lower the dang prices, says Bees. Yeah. I mean, I can't really complain about... again, prices might be different where you are. I don't know. But for me, this tube of paint was probably about maybe £6. Something in that vicinity. And considering how much painting I'm going to get out of this teeny tiny tube, I can't really complain about that. But on the other hand, I feel you. Yeah, I don't remember how much this one was, but yeah, they are discount at least. I mean, I am a very, like, outlier-y case because my paintings are so teeny tiny that it will take me the rest of my life to get through all of the paints I already own, let alone any more that I might consider buying. because I use so little in any given moment, but I feel you. Art supplies are not cheap. And if you want more than one type of art supplies, oh boy, I've been looking at getting into doing some gouache painting. I really want to do some gouache pieces. There are some ideas that I have that I feel like would look really good in gouache paint, and I would like to play with it more. And then I go to Jackson's Art website, and I'm like, okay, I hear these ones are good. I was specifically looking at like Holbein's artist gouache, because I heard good things from at least one person about Holbein's gouache paints, and so I was like, okay, I'll give them a go. I'm just gonna get like a handful of representative colors so I have enough to like form a palette and do whatever I want with it, right? I don't need to buy every single color they have. That's stupid. And so I picked out like a handful of them that I thought would be useful colors, and then I looked and I'm like, oh good, that's 60 quid. Yippee skippy. Well, I guess I'm not paying paint this month. Hey! Never mind. Bees says, Danielle Smith prices make me so mad. I live in the same state Danielle Smith is, and that should at least count for something. You should get an in-state discount. For sure, for sure. I'm probably paying a bit of, or at least I feel like I should be paying a bit of a premium on Danielle Smith paints, because they're coming from all the way in the US of A, I believe. And I am very far away from that. Okay. Feels like my head has been rammed with cotton wool. It is not a pleasant feeling. Anyways. But yeah. I think that the thing about art supplies for me is that, like, there are cheaper art supplies you can get, there are less expensive art supplies you can get, but there is a certain point at which I think as an artist, I don't want to spend a ton of money, but also I'm aware of the fact that, like, if I'm buying, like, the cheapest art supplies, like the ones, like the student grade ones as they call them, I'm also aware of the fact that I'm just going to struggle to produce work as good, because as much as, like, hey, your paint made an amazing painting is, like, an incredibly dumb statement, and you can do really amazing works with really cheap art supplies, I do think it, to a certain extent, when you get, like, the worst watercolors possible, you are hampering what you are going to be able to achieve with them compared to something that is a little bit more mid-priced. And I would say the things that I buy in terms of art supplies when I do are in the mid-range. Like, I'm not buying the most expensive. I also think there's a certain point at which you're not really paying for a higher caliber of art supplies at some point. You're just paying for, like, swishier packaging and possibly bragging rights. I don't frickin' know. But I feel like a good mid, like, just a normal great art supply is good enough, you know? Like, this is a good quality paint here. This Schminke's Horadam Aquarelle is fine. It's good paint. But yeah, I have to be mindful of what I really, really want to get, because I'm not made of money. But anyways, that's part of the reason that one of the things I do tend to be very mindful of when I do buy paints is light fastness. Not that I tend to put my artworks, like my original pieces, up on display, but on the off chance, that's something I'd like to be paying for. I have a few sets that don't actually state whether they're, whether they're light fast rated at all. And I would not use those on, say, an original piece that I know I was going to sell, that somebody might stick up on a wall, and then have it turn out that it goes from, like, purplish gray to teal in 12 months of indirect sunlight. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't feel good. I want to try and make sure that anything that someone is actually going to display is going to last, at least their lifetime. Anyways, B says, I always get scammed on the gimmicky overpriced art supplies, and I know better, but alas. I mean, I don't know if these are gimmicky, but I did buy some shiny gold paints recently, because they had a really big sale, and they were really cheap. And I have no, this is, okay, I'm having the same problem that Bees is having with the granulating paints. I'm like, these are so shiny and pretty, and I have absolutely, I don't know what am I gonna do with these? I don't know. I like their little bottles, though. They are delightful. Oh, yeah, and I also bought, from my local, now, in my defense, this is from my local stationery shop, but I did buy this ink that is rose-scented, and this ink that is lavender-scented, and this ink that is violet-scented, which is so silly. It's so silly, and I don't, like, this doesn't, this says almost nothing about what it is. It doesn't say anything about light fastness. It's really meant for, like, I think just calligraphy and that kind of thing, really. So it's not used, it's not meant to be used in the way that I would use it anyway. So I'm not going to sell originals made with the scented ink. But feels like those belong in a Bronte novel or something, says Tals. I know, right? Like, they're so freaking aesthetic. This is so freaking aesthetic. It's not focusing. Focus up. Come on. It's so freaking aesthetic. Look at that. Look at it. It's so aesthetic. And it smells of violets. It literally smells of violets. Yep. It smells like violets. But what I will say is that once the ink dries down, the scent dissipates significantly compared to when you're actually working with it. Like, I have painted with these before, and whilst I'm painting with them, it's like, woof. You know, I smell flowers, but once it's dried down, it's kind of gone. And also, I don't know if I want to, like, as much as I inadvertently purchased the colors of the bisexual pride flag, which I love for me as a bi guy, I'm just drawn to that palette for some reason. But I feel like if I were to just combine the 3 scents of those and it did, like, carry a scent for some time, it would be very cacophonous and probably give me a headache. As much as I've created fragrance blends before, as someone who, unfortunately caught the soap making bug and really wants to make more soap, but I can't make more soap, but I've created a few fragrance blends for making soap with, but I have no one I can give like soap gifts to, and I can't sell soap because it's very heavily regulated, and quite rightly so. Like, I'm fine with that. In fact, I welcome it. But with that being said, that means I have no outlet for all the soap I want to make. But I have made a few fragrance blends, just for funsies. I kind of went a little overboard and bought like a dozen like essential oils to blend fragrances together with, just because I'm like, you know what I think would go really well together, you know, like just a little black pepper and just a hint of oh, what is it? Virginia cedarwood. Delightful. Anyways, Bees says Daniel Smith made a version of Cascade Green that was Christmas tree scented. That is so seasonally adorable. I love that. That's really cute. That's very sweet. I love that a lot. Delightful. Okay. We are going back to these friend shapes for our little awnings here. And I have to decide what colors I think the awnings should be, what goes with these buildings, because I'm gonna do different colors, I think, to the ones that exist in real life, because this is a fantasy Copenhagen of the mind, and I can do whatever I ding dang feel like. Damn it. So I have to decide what colors I think will go well. And I think maybe I think that's a good question, and I started to answer it and then realized halfway through answering it that I didn't have an answer. So, that's a great start. Anyways, I did have the same people who make these are the people who made the, like, blackest black paint and have done, I think, several, like, 3 or 4 iterations of making an even more, like, light absorbent black paint, like the mattest, blackest, darkest black you can possibly make in a paint. But I bought whichever iteration of it that was black cherry scented. And it was indeed quite a matte void paint. And it did smell a little bit like black cherry, which is nice. You know, that reminds me of, oh, what are they called? Does anyone, okay, older viewers may remember, I don't know whether or not they still make them, Mr. Sketch. I think it was Mr. Sketch. It was a brand of, like, markers. You could get a set of Mr. Sketch markers as a youngin'. I got a set once, and all of the markers have different scents. So there's, like, the yellow one smells like lemon, and the red one smells like cherries, and the you know, like the brown one smells like chocolates, and the black one is disgusting because it smells like licorice, and that's the worst. But the purple one smelled like grape, and it was really good. Mr. Sketch markers were awesome, says Bees. Yes, I loved my Mr. Sketch markers. They were so good. Yeah, I had a wonderful time with my Mr. Sketch marker set. They were fragrantly delightful. So I've decided I'm going to start with a sort of yellowish, and then I'm going to pop a little stripe on it, which is quite similar to real life, but I think it's cute, so I'm going to keep it. Anyways, I wish I knew what street this was in Copenhagen. I don't remember. It's just a street that I took a photo of that we were walking down after, like, I think I just purchased us, like, a whimsy to have as a snack or something. Which I absolutely love. Man, I miss being able to digest wheat. But the thing is, I think what I've realized in the last, like, week or so is that I have been struggling for a lot longer to digest wheat than I thought I was. Because I've definitely was having low-grade symptoms for a very long time. And I'm still experiencing low-grade symptoms from it. Just because turns out that trying to eat something that your body is extremely sensitive to and is like, no. That for a really long time and not realizing that that's what's causing all of your symptoms. Yeah, that has a terrible cumulative effect that can take a long time to heal from. Yeah, I'm so broken. I hate it here. Anyways, just coloring a big wet block so you can sniff it, says Bees. Yes. Fresh memes of Mr. Sketch markers. If anyone, I'm actually going to look up and see whether or not they still exist because my interest has been piqued. Okay, Mr. Sketch, but oh damn! Well, they're still available on Amazon apparently, so yeah, you can still get Mr. Sketch markers. Let me just see if I can pull up. Here's Mr. Sketch's website. Now, I don't think this is something that was ever available here in the UK, probably. Or if they are or were, like, I've never seen them. They're probably not as good as we remember, says Bees. I don't know. I want to believe. Eddie, thank you so much for the lurk and for the hydrate as well. I'm going to take a little sip of my chamomile tea. Thank you. Ooh. Yummy, delicious. Here's what they look like nowadays, and apparently they still exist, or at least the brand's website does. But this is the vibe. So you get these beautiful, brightly colored markers, and I seem to remember, at least as like a 9-year-old, I thought they were pretty good quality markers. They come in all kinds of fragrances, and the fragrances are more or less in line with what the colors look like. Ooh, they have slim markers now as well as the chisel tips. Whoa, kids these days are living in 2050 and they don't even realize it. Damn. What? They do scented crayons now? Ugh. Okay, that's it. Next time I'm in Canada, my moderator / spouse and I are going to the office supplies store and we're looking for Mr. Sketch, and I will let you know. I will report back on my experiences of standing in, like, the stationery aisle of the office supply store and smelling the Mr. Sketch products and letting you know whether or not they're as good as we remember. Okay? Looks like they come in even more flavors than before. Oh, don't say flavors, because then I'll want to eat them. And that's not appropriate. I'm trying to eat a healthy diet these days, you know. which does not include marker ink. Or at least it shouldn't be. Oh, Q2s, thank you very much for the hug. Right back at you, my friend. Very much appreciated. I assume that's because I feel like crap, and not because I'm planning to go to the office supply store and smell the Mr. Sketch markers. But thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay. Let's give this one a little doodad. Well, it's got this like dark brown roof, and it's got this like pink. What would look good here? I feel like maybe a little sort of like aqua-y, tealy, minty kind of situation would be really cute. If it's like really pale, I think that could be nice. I think that's like a springtime vibe. That's like matcha. You know, I think that'll work nicely. Unless the sketch markers make you sad and have a hug for that too. Well, you know what? I really appreciate the hugs very much. I do. It's being a day. So that's really, really kind. Thank you. Fruit markers are not one of your 5 a day, says Tells. That is correct. They are absolutely 100% not one of your 5 a day. No, 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 no. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Okay. I think I watered that color down. I was worried that the color was a little bit too bold, so I watered it down, and then I realized that I watered it down way too much. So hopefully I've pulled it back just enough that it has a nice aesthetic, coffee shoppy kind of vibe. The kind of place where you want to rock up and spend 45 minutes to an hour drinking a coffee and eating a cardamom bun, and then getting on with your day. Okay, yeah, I think that's cute. Anyways, Bees says, Mr. Sketch markers killed my dad. Whoa, what? This conversation has taken a turn. Oh my god. Please be joking. Or if not, yeah, we can change the topic of conversation for, oh my god. Like, I knew it. I knew that you were kidding. Like, I knew that couldn't possibly be true and you were kidding. But if I treated that as though you were kidding and it turned out that actually in some way, like, you know, like your dad passed away because he had a reaction to markers or something, I would have felt like such a butthole if I made a joke about it. You know what I mean? Like... like such a butthole, can you believe? He sniffed too hard. He sniffed too close to the sun. See, now I can joke. Now is funny. Now is a good comedy joke. Thank you. My God. Anyways. Question for the chat. If you were a Mr. Sketch marker, what color and fragrance would you be? I would be... At the moment, I feel like I would be a... I would be like a soft grayish lavender or a lavenderish gray, and I would smell like an opening, I would say, of maybe like a warm black pepper, definitely just a little bit of iris in there, and like a vanilla-y finish, but not like sweet, like foody vanilla, but just kind of like a slightly warm, spicy vanilla. Possibly a little pop of citrus, and actually scratch all that. I would still be a sort of lavendery, like a grayish lavender, but with like a hint of brown to it, actually. Grayish lavender with a hint of brown to it, and I would be a little more sandalwoody in vibe, I think. Yeah, sandalwood. sandalwood, grayish, brownish lavender. That's the vibe I'm going for today. Kind of like somewhere between my hair and my cardigan in color, and scented of sandalwood. There you go. That's me. In case you were wondering. Q2 says, I would be a dark gray color and smell like garlic. Delightful. Delicious. I do like garlic. I do not want the smell of garlic to come out of my pores generally, but you know. I've been on a citrus smell bender, says Bees. Bergamot green gold. Ooh, that's lovely as well. We've got such a wonderful range of colors and smells in the chat. How wonderful. What a sensory journey we're on. I do actually have a sandalwood perfume that I have. Okay, I have a sample size vial of a sandalwood perfume that I really, really love. I like it to wear when traveling because it's fragrant enough that it helps me like regulate in stressful situations, which is like half the reason that I wear fragrance when I go out, is to help me regulate in stressful situations. Just being able to like hold my arm up to my face and just go and smell something that's really calming is very grounding for me. It helps me to tune out all of the other like sensory garbage and stress that's going on around me, which is very helpful as a person who's not always good at tuning out all of that sensory noise. So yeah, I've discovered fragrance because it helps me to not have such a terrible autism time, honestly. But also learning things about fragrance ingredients and what different things smell like and what different like compounds smell like in combination with each other. Oh, that's hyperfixation territory, baby. And that's why I have like a single milliliter of oak moss extract that I'm going to blend with something that I don't know what yet. But it smells so good. I love oak moss. Oh my god. Anyways, it's very expensive and hard to get though. So I'm like, it's precious. It's like the art supplies you're scared to use because they're too nice. Except it's me with a single milliliter of oak moss extract. Hey! Q2 says, I feel blah and I ate Greek food with tzatziki, so I probably actually still smell garlicky. Oh, but tzatziki is so good. I'm sorry that you feel blah. I hope that the Greek food helped and didn't hinder. I say as someone who, I actually, I back in Canada, I used to really enjoy tzatziki, the Greek condiment of like yogurt and garlic and herbs. But I never buy it here in the UK. And the difference is, for some reason, all of the tzatziki from Canada does not contain, or is there cucumber in it as well? I feel like I remember there's cucumber in it as well. But I haven't had it in a gazillion years. Because all of the tzatziki that you can get here in the UK has mint in it. And it never did back in Canada. And so I'm used to it not having mint. And when I have like savory, garlicky, dinner time type foods that have mint in them, I'm so used to mint being like a tea or my toothpaste or a little sweet or something that pairs with chocolate and ice cream that it tastes like super, it just tastes really weird to me to have mint in savory. I know it's very common. Like, there are a lot of cuisines that use mint as just, like, an herb in savory contexts. And every single time, my mouth is like, no, no, not this one. They're, like, pretty much any other spice I'm fine with using in, like, either sweet or savory context. Cardamom is delightful in, like, a stew as well as a sweet bun, Ginger, perfect. Cinnamon, delightful. Mint, I can only have as a sweet. Cumin, I'm less likely to put. Okay, there are certain things that I wouldn't put in a sweet. Like cumin, I think it's too pungently savory to have in like an ice cream. You know what I mean? But anyways, I had an 11-hour drive home yesterday, so hence blah. Oh my goodness, Q2's that's so long. I hope you're availing yourself of some rest. You poor thing. You deserve a big long nap. My goodness, what crazy person decided to put mint in it in the UK? I don't know, but it's pretty much ubiquitous. And there are certain foods that I have to look out for. Like, are you gonna put mint in this? Like, if I want like a green pea soup, I have to check and make sure they haven't added mint to it, because I don't want to taste mint. I want to taste peas. In fact, I'm making a vegetable soup tonight. But it's not like a wazzed up pea soup or anything like that. I've got peas because there's British asparagus in the shops now. I have to buy. It's so expensive. It's so expensive. I swear, like 10% of my weekly grocery money has gone to a bunch of asparagus. Literally. I am economizing on other foods so that I can have asparagus in asparagus season, because it's just so freaking ding-dang good. And I love asparagus with my entire heart, but my god, it's so expensive. Literally over £3 for like a single meal's worth of asparagus. That's disgusting as far as I'm concerned. But with that being said, again, I am blowing that money on asparagus because it only comes round for like a few short weeks of the year, and then it goes back to being the asparagus that comes from super, super far away in, like, you know, sort of literally the other side of the world. And I just can't, if it's something that grows in the UK, I cannot readily justify buying it knowing that it was grown in, like, South America and was trucked all the way here. Because that's such a bigger, you know, I try and eat seasonally as best as I can. There are certain things that I have to concede, obviously, do not grow in the UK, like bananas, and I will just buy bananas, whatever. But, asparagus, I just eat a butt ton of asparagus when it's locally grown, you know? That's it. Like, and there are certain things that are just around all year round, like apples and potatoes and that kind of thing, and I just eat those whenever. And everything else I kind of eat as and when it's available as locally as I can. If it's coming from, like, someplace in Europe, I figure that's fine. But if it's coming from literally a different continent, I'm like, do I need it? Anyways, and that's why I spend too much money on asparagus for, like, a month or two out of the year, because that's the only time that I can have it. Anyways, so it's going in my soup with cauliflower and carrots, and peas, and some tiny soup pasta, and vegetable broth, and sweet Hungarian paprika, because I'm sexy like that. And to be honest, I have not needed a restorative soup as bad as I do right now for a while, and I'm very glad that that's what I'm making today, because I feel like poo-poo garbage. Dan says it was the Tories that forced us to put mint in. Like, I don't want mint in that soup I'm making tonight. That's good. That would be bad. I have never vibed with asparagus, says Styles, even when it was fresh from the garden. Oh my goodness, that asparagus is fun in that way, though. I'm sorry you didn't like it. I really am. But that's okay. You don't have to like every vegetable. I don't like every vegetable. I don't like mint in my pea soup, so there. But one of the things I think is fun about asparagus is that when it's in like growing season, it grows so fast. Like literally you look at it and it's like there's that much out of the ground. You look away, have like a 10-second conversation with someone, you look back and it's grown up to like here. It grows very fast. You just come along and like chop 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 chop. All the little worms coming out of the ground. And then there's this is something that I was surprised by when I learned about it, is the asparagus difference between the UK and also I think like Canada and the US and some parts of Europe, where the asparagus is very... Basically, there's two kinds of asparagus. There's the asparagus as we know it, or as I know it, that is like a green stalk. Hello, Pigeon. Welcome in. We're just talking about asparagus. The asparagus difference sounds like a modern Bond film. Well, depending on where you're from, what you picture as like the prototypical asparagus will be a different looking food. So asparagus, as I know it, coming from Canada and living in the UK, is like a green long stalk. Whereas I know in Germany and probably other countries in the vicinity, it is a frankly creepier looking, sort of vaguely off-white stalk. And the reason for this is that you can make your asparagus grow without photosynthesizing by, like, as the asparagus stalk is coming out of the ground, you just continue to mound dirt on top of it. So it never reaches the sun and it never turns green, and you get this sort of, like, creepy, wormy looking off-white stalk, which is still delicious, but it has a different flavor to it because it hasn't gained the greenness, and the greenness gives it, so it has, like, a milder, I think, flavor to it, which some people prefer. I personally am a green asparagus enjoyer, but like white asparagus, it's fine. But again, I do think that it looks creepy. There was, a few years ago in the Discord, there was a photo that I posted of an asparagus, a piece of public art modeled after asparagus. And I'm gonna see if I can pull it up on my phone. If I try and load Discord on the, on my laptop while I'm streaming, I will break the stream. So, you're gonna have to deal with this, but I shall try and hope that it, shows up. Okay, please. Please tell me. That this works. Load. No, it's not loading it earlier, but bing, ding, dang it. Okay, I'm trying again. Oh, please load. Oh no. Will it load? I'm trying to get it to load. Wait. Okay. Okay, yeah. The asparagus difference. This is some public art from a town in Germany of an asparagus. That's as much as I can show you on stream. It's an asparagus. I did not realize when I was looking it up that it looked that much not like an asparagus. Yeah. Anyways, I hope I don't get in trouble for showing you that statue of an asparagus. This is a town that is known for growing asparagus locally. That's an asparagus spear. This is the problem with not letting your asparagus go green. It invites uncomfortable comparisons. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm deeply uncomfortable. Like, apologies to anyone who, I should have warned you before I showed that on screen. Twitch, it was not a weenus, don't get it twisted. Thank you, Pigeon. I might just have to download and then delete this VOD, as soon as stream is over. And, if I upload it to the VOD channel, that might get blurred. Because it's a little blatant. Of an asparagus, it is a representation of asparagus that is explicitly what it is supposed to be. It's an asparagus. It's just someone... You know, sometimes if you're on the fence about whether or not your public art design is okay, just ask one teenager. Just ask a teenage boy, you know? Be like, hey, buddy, what do you think of this public art design? And if they're like, schwanz, then you know you've gone a little bit wrong. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, I am truly sorry. I am so sorry. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I just googled the pale asparagus and it's quite unnerving. It's got a weird vibe, doesn't it, Pigeon? Like, it's really got a weird, as far as I'm concerned, it's really got a weird vibe. I'm not sure I vibe with that vibe. Like, is it a pleasant, treat? Yeah, sure. You know, have it like steamed with an, you know, alongside like a nice piece of like salmon and some potatoes and a delicious dill sauce. Like, that would be super nice. But man, I want to do that now. Salmon and asparagus and some steamed potatoes with a dill sauce. That sounds like a really nice Northern European dinner. Why am I not doing... I do not have it in me to put in that much effort tonight. And also, salmon is damn expensive. So salmon's for special occasions. It's expensive. But, woof. Yeah. So, anywho, I'm going to, speaking of vegetables whose names start with A, I'm going to use a little bit of this artichoke paint. Just to do a little, like, stripey stripe on this little awning, because I think it would be cute if I did. Thusly. Am I perfectly rendering the regularity of the stripes? Oh, I don't know, probably not, no. But whatever, it's fine. Anyways, I apologize to anyone who is seeing white asparagus for the first time and is not feeling too great about it. It is, again, I'm sure it's delicious, but visually a little woo. Okay, all right there, buddy. And again, my first exposure to the standard asparagus in this region is white asparagus was when I took German class as a 15-year-old in a room of 15-year-olds looking at different pictures of vegetables and their German names. And then we got to something called Spargel, and I was like, why is it pale worms? Oh, that's asparagus? Oh, gay! It was a petite culture shock. Speaking of, I have another, like, culture shock topic that I think I might make a video about at some point after I've been back to Canada next. But I don't know if this is, like, a good, interesting topic, because it's to do with medicine, and specifically here in the UK, if I want to get ibuprofen, I can buy a box of, like, 16 ibuprofen tablets, whereas back in the old country, I could just buy, like, a massive tub of 500. You do not do that here. That is not something you could do, and it's weird to me that you can just buy, like, a massive tub of 500 ibuprofens. I mean, if you regularly require anti-inflammatory pain relief, my goodness, it's so convenient to not have to buy a new one every 3 days. But, you know, damn, that also just feels so super weird to me because you cannot do that here. You can only buy a box of 2 boxes from one store at a time, says Pigeon. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Despite the fact that I'm over 40, if I buy, like, if I'm at, like, the self-checkouts at the supermarket or whatever, and I've picked up a little 16 box of ibuprofen, which, by the way, also costs 50p, so at least it feels pretty cheap, compared to some of the, like, packets of medicines I've seen from back in Canada. I'm like, you pay how much for what? Oh my god. Anyways, I can buy giant vats of ibuprofen, but I'm also a victim of US healthcare, so yeah, you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other, right? Anyways, I'm having now, I am super grateful that I live in a place with a national health service. Oh my goodness, am I ever. But, with that being said, am I having a terrible time right now with doctory stuff. I had a phone call with the doctor last week, and she told me a bunch of stuff, and, now, I don't really know what's happening. I don't know if I'm going to get, like, a letter at some point with, like, a specialist appointment, or if I'm going to get a call from someone, or if I'm going to get a text message, or if I'm just gonna never hear anything. I don't actually know, and I don't want to bother them by following up and be like, hey, could you just explain to me what's happening? Because every time I speak to a doctor, I'm like, yep, nod, yes, this all makes sense, and then as soon as it's over, I'm like, I retained none of that. Anyways, no medical professional has ever, like, definitively declared that I don't have ADHD. But But yeah, I feel you, says Pigeon. I have to chase up appointments all the time. Yeah, it's like I don't want to be a bother, but also there was like what turns out to be, I think, a crucial piece of information that I did not think to mention because I didn't think it was relevant. And then I was looking up one of the possible treatments that she mentioned following our call, and it mentioned this thing that I like did not think to bring up, and I was like, shoot. I should probably mention this, but I think I'm just gonna raise it like the next time I speak to the doctor about something and just be like, hey, I know I didn't mention this before, but I think it's relevant, and hope that that's fine. But like, I've been so anxious about it for days because I didn't think to say anything, and I'm like, actually, this might change what they decide to, like, how they want to treat it. I'm so stressed all the time. Anyways. Bees says, my doctors have gotten pretty... Oh, no. Go away, ad warning. I'm trying to read chat. My doctors have gotten pretty good with the online patient portal system, says Bees. I can retrieve appointment summaries and follow-up instructions, etc. It's so helpful. Oh, man. I need to figure out if I can do that. I can book appointments online, but I have no idea how to see things like what happened at this appointment and what I'm supposed to be doing now. It's all just a list of verbal instructions followed by... I mean, I know I have a prescription to pick up. So, by the way, this Friday, I will be ending stream very abruptly on time because I have to go into town and go to the pharmacy. So, yeah. I'm sorry for my health. It's, an ordeal. But, so it goes. Anyways, okay. So... what do I want to paint next? I think possibly we're getting into just sort of painting in the windows that we're not really able to see anything into. So I might just start graying out some windows that we can't really see into. Like, we can't really see what's happening in there, so I can just kind of... it can just kind of be a little bit shaded in. Just so it's not, like, just white. I don't really want to think about what's in this window. Not because it's anything bad, but just I don't want to have to think of what it is. I think it's probably just like a ground floor office that has a big window that makes everyone at their open plan desks feel very on display. Oh man, there are some, like, offices that I go past, specifically in parts of, like, London. There are, like, some offices that I go past, and they'll, like, the office is on the ground floor of a building on, like, a reasonably, you know, not super poorly trodden, but not, like, mega busy, like, sort of side street, right? And they've just got, like, the big, you know, like, potentially that space used to be, like, a shop, like a retail shop or something, and now it's, like, an agency or, like, a business of some kind. And so there's just a whole bunch of, like, you know, table desks and people sitting at computers at desks. And you know, I'm just walking past on my way to get lunch at Scandi Kitchen, and I can just see all of these people work. Can you, like, the panopticism of just being in, like, a publicly visible, like, ground floor space and having people walk past seeing you working all the time and feeling like, oh god, I have to look busy because what if a stranger walks past and sees me looking at, like, you know, Tumblr? Like, I couldn't handle it. I would have, like, a meltdown within one day and then leave. Anyways, it's ad break time! It's ad break time! Yay! Please enjoy the ads! I hope you have a nice time. I hope you don't have to see ads, but if you do, I'm sorry, and I'll be back very, very shortly. So BRB, everybody. Heck! Hello. Hi, I'm back. Welcome back, everybody. It's nice to be back. Whew. Okay, I think I'm flagging a bit, so we're probably not going to go on too much longer. I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not feeling very well. I'm very looking forward to a game stream on Thursday, by the way. It's going to be so much fun. Hell yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I still need to think about what's going on in this little window. Like, what's in this window display? What are they selling, I wonder? What are they doing? I just don't know. I think we tabled the idea of like an art supplies shop, which I think is really, really cute, but I don't know how, what's in the window display of an art supplies shop? Heck, it could be anything. It could be anything, chat. I don't know. Let me look up some art supplies shop exteriors and see if I can get an idea for what might be in the window display from that. No, this isn't helpful to me. Well, I can just see the inside of the art supplies shop, so that just looks like some shelves and stuff. This was Cass Art somewhere. Looks like London. Anyways. I do love a good art supplies shop, it has to be said. I do. I will go out of my way to visit a good art supplies shop and then look around and be like, oh, look at all of the cool things I could get. Look at all the neat stuff I could make stuff with. But if I buy any of this, I have to carry it home and it's also really expensive. I'm just going to buy this one pencil. I'm pretty sure this pencil came from like a Cass Art in London. Because I was like, I want to buy myself something nice. I'm going to get a pencil. And hey, it served me well. See, also, this guy is still going, by the way. I did have to sharpen it last time, but it's still going. How much more can I get out of this? I mean, I do hold my pencils like this, so I think I can get as far down as this and still be able to hold it. Probably. We'll see. We'll see. I want to challenge myself to see how tiny I can shave this pencil down to before I eventually have to give up. 'Cause you know what? I don't like wasting art supply, that's why. Anyways, but yeah, I could maybe just try and get like a suggestion of, hey, you can see some shelves in here. Or do I do I want to try and get like some little display? You know, no, I'm gonna do some little displays of things, I think, because I think that might be quite cute. Get some different levels of stuff. So there's some little boxes of inks or something, perhaps, in a little display there, and then over here maybe we've got like a little little something being displayed on like an easel. Little leggies on it. Go. Something's being displayed on here, and I don't know, maybe another something's being displayed over here. There we go. And then maybe just like, will it be too stubby to draw with or too stubby to sharpen first? Oh, that's a great question, Tals, because I was struggling to... Actually, but the thing is, I was struggling to sharpen it last time because I just moisturized my hands, so it was like slippery, but it's getting harder to grip. I think I might be able to get as far down as this and still be able to sharpen, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say. That's a really good question, though. That's a fair point. I'm going to pop over to translate and get us a nice word to put in the window here that is Danish, because we are in Copenhagen. But I don't know what word to put. Oh, yay. I don't know what word to put. But crucially also, I don't know if Google Translate knows the subtleties of, like, when something's on sale, what does that mean? Medusa, hello, welcome in! My chat has just reconnected itself, so hopefully I'm still online. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just trying to decide what I should put in this window. Oh, because that is... Okay, well, I could put art supplies. Also, hi, I hope you're well. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're having a good Monday. This is the Danish word, pardon Google's pronunciation, of art supplies, which is maybe a little bit long to try and get in this window, but...
Kunstforsyninger.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can fit all of Kunstforsyninger in there and have it be legible. I'm not sure. I could certainly try, but I did take some photos of shop displays when I was in Denmark. Maybe I should be consulting those thems for what I should put. But I just don't know. There was one that I thought was really fun. Do I still have that photo? Where's this still? Okay, one moment, please. I'll be back in just a second. My moderator / spouse has just come home, and I want to say hello to him. Darling. Cheese with sugar and cinnamon. Terrible, but thank you. I'm going to continue streaming for a little bit. Hello! I'm back. The painting's going slowly, but we did get some work done today. He says that makes a change. And he's not wrong, but still, that's me. Anyways. Once again, oh my god, my PNG tuber is bigger than my tiny pencil. It's like the length of the desk. I am going to squeeze every last microgram of graphite out of this that I can. I promise you that, and I will keep you posted on its journey. Because why? Because I don't like waste. I want to be as low waste of an individual as possible. And also, I'm a cheapskate. Also, I did just come upon the word that I saw on a sale sign in a very nice sort of like classy housewares shop in Danish, and yeah, I think what I get from the translation is that it means like it's the final, it's like the final days of the sale. It's like the last of the sale, but also I'm not going to say this word out loud, but I will show you a photo of the, I've just zoomed in on there's some really nice like dishes and bowls and stuff here. Save up to 70%. That I'm just saying that word means something very different in English to what it means in Danish. Hi. The word is under sale. Now, there is a word that means something quite different in English that basically means end in Danish, and what that means is, hold on, I need to, okay, once again, this is from an actual Moomin's book, by the way. And it means the end. That's the end of the book. However, this is described as a casualty of the language barrier. And not that Little Vi is judging you. But that being said, it just means the end. It's just like the last page of the book. It's the same. It means the same in Swedish. But I'm sorry, just the way that little Maya's holding up this sign and just giving you this look. Like, you know. I'm sorry. Oh my god, what is this stream? What is this stream and unintentionally TOS violation on the cusp of things from Northern Europe? Once again, this is a good time to remind you that this is an adult stream for grown-ups. If you are here, I expect that you are an adult over the age of adulthood where you are. Do not talk about your ages in chat. If you reveal that you are underage, you will be banned. Thank you.
Oh, adult, yes. Grown up.
My moderator / spouse says adult, yes. Grown up, eh. Anyways, this stream is a delight, so tell thank you. I'm trying my absolute delight to produce. Y'all are too kind. Y'all are too kind. Thank you. I was lurking during the asparagus stuff. I genuinely, when I brought that up on my phone, I had not remembered that it looked like that. I am going to have to download and delete the VOD after stream and then, like, blur that out when I upload it to my VOD channel. Dan says I never talk about my age because it reveals I am old. Shh. No. Also, I am 100% sure that we're like the same age, Dan, so no you're not, because I'm not ready. Heck. Anyways, I'm not putting that Danish word on my sign here, because it doesn't feel appropriate somehow. Oh, man, okay. I'm trying to think of things that I saw as, like, you know, on signs when I was in Denmark, but it's long enough ago that I don't remember any of it. So, yay. Okay. You might be within 10% of my age. Okay. Okay. Anyways, Medusa says, oh god, I tried to Google for that Danish picture book pic you just showed, and well, no! Medusa, no! Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh no. My content filter's not turned on. Oh no! If it makes you feel any better, some years ago I got a little plush of a character from an ongoing YouTube series that was very cute, but also had quite a rude name, and me being just the little soft little fairy cake that I am, when it arrived, I was like, oh, a lot of people are also going to be getting their pre-orders delivered today. I want to see other people's photos of their cute little plush of, like, an anxious little kitty cat thing. And instead of, like, putting any context in my search, I just went to Twitter, because Twitter was the social medium we were all using at the time, and I typed in the name of this little character without any other, like, modifiers, like, you know, the sort of the YouTube channel it's from or anything like that. Just the name of it. And, oh boy, the first thing I saw was just, like, guy's butthole. And I was like, okay, well, I goofed. That was, no. No, thank you. Ah! That was not something I was expecting to be jump scared by when I was looking for pictures of a cute little cat plush. No. There's a time and a place. And that was neither of them. Ah! Anyways. That was entirely just me for one shining moment of having received this beautiful little handicraft. Just fully forgetting that, like, words mean things. Oh, you know, like, sometimes, despite all appearances and my, you know, like, reasonable ability to appear as an erudite and well-educated, intelligent individual, I am an absolute muppet. But at least I can own that, you know what I mean? Heck! Anyways. You know, it's funny, when I was painting my PNG tuber here, when I was painting in the colors of my PNG tuber, it didn't even occur to me, like, I picked the color of this cardigan because it's a color I like, I picked the color of these trousers because I have trousers that color, you know, all that jazz, like the desk, my hair, and my skin tone, they're all just as they are, but, like, I could have been like, oh, I'm going to give myself a nice green cardigan, and imagine what would have happened to this if I'd given myself a nice green cardigan. You'd be able to see right through my body. It didn't even occur to me if I had chosen any of these colors as green. I mean, that mug was originally sort of a tealy turquoise color, and you could see right through it, which is why I had to recolor it blue in Photoshop. Hey! Katie, thank you so much for the lurk. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely lurk. But yeah, I am very intelligent. Good job, me. And, okay, what was that word again?
Kunstforsyninger.
Kunstforsyninger. I'm gonna try and write that in, but it's gonna be an interesting time for me, because it's a long old word. Yeah. There we go. Can you read it? No, not really. But if you zoom way in and you speak Danish, I think you can guess from context clues that it's meant to say Kunstforsyninger. So, I consider that a win. Or, as the Danes would say, if they're not just speaking English, to be honest,
Sejr.
Anyways, Medusa says, there are many things about streaming that I only realized after hitting start stream. Yep. This is very true. Very, very true. Oh, the number of times I forget to do things after I've started the stream. Like, oh no, the camera's not connected. Hey! Fun stuff. Anyways, okay, I think now that we've established that I've put the words Kunstforsyninger in the window of the art supply shop, I'm gonna call it for today because my tummy hurts real bad and I need to go make soup. So sorry I didn't go on for longer, but my tummy hurts and I need to make soup. But also, oh boy, I am so going to enjoy the stupid tiny little bits of stationery, technically business expenses that I bought for myself. My fun little washi tapes, which if you buy something from my shop, you might receive one of these washi tapes. I don't know which one it'll be. And it might be what's left of the strawberry one, which I'm almost out of. Just so you know, this stream has been brought to you by me. I have a shop. You can buy prints and stickers and other stuff of my artwork if you want to. Speaking of stickers, I also got myself a little, Japanese animal sticker sheet that I got for myself as a little treat. And a little storage container for, supplies. Because, to be honest, I kind of really needed one. And this one's got a bird on it, and it was pretty inexpensive, so I figure blowing a couple quid on a little storage container is not a terrible expense. So I did it anyways. And the thing that I feel I feel the need to justify these like stupid tiny little treats. And it's just so funny to me that I'm like, oh, I'm going to treat myself, and like, so, you know, some people's idea of treat yourself is like, I'm going to take myself to the Canary Islands for a month. And my idea of I'm going to treat myself is I'm going to spend £4 on a little storage container that has a bird on it. Anyways, I'm going to see if there's someone we can raid. There's somewhere nice I can send you to, somewhere safe, a soft place to land, as it were. And I'm going to apologize again for the fact that we are ending, but thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I think this is coming along super cute. I know we didn't get a ton done today, but I had a nice time chatting with y'all, and I hope you had a nice time too. Yeah, we're gonna go say hi to someone. Who shall I say hi to? Or at least I think we will say hi. Who shall I say hi to? Who's doing some stuff? Who's doing what today? Okay. I think it's been an amount of time. I do try and spread out the raids so I'm not bothering the same user every single time I finish stream, because that feels, I don't know if that gets annoying. Probably not, but I don't know. I also like to introduce you to multiple new peoples. But Eichmann is doing some art, and I don't think we've said hi to Ike in a little while. So, doing some... Oh my goodness, are those hand studies? Oh, that's so brave. Let's go give some moral support. Because that's really cool of him. Anyways, I'm certainly never annoyed when anyone raids me, but for me personally, I always assume that I'm annoying everyone wherever I go and whatever I do. Because I have absolutely no self-esteem. Anyways. But thank you so much for watching. If you have... Oh, shoot. I think I just broke the raid message. Hold up. I'm trying to put a raid message in chat, and I think I did it wrong. Okay. I'm putting some Terrys in the raid message because it's the newest emote that we have, and I think it's cute. So if you have the emotes, feel free to grab the raid message with the emotes. If you do not have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message and or append any cool emotes that you do have. It's all good. I'll be back on Thursday doing a little game stream. So if you want to see me playing with just a whole bunch of dogs, do come on back. Then I'm very much looking forward to it. But in the meantime, I hope you have a good rest of your week. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for keeping me company. It's been really nice hanging out with you all, and I hope to see you again very, very soon. Take care, good night, and good luck.